I go where the truth leads me, and that goes for anything I minister. Uh, I go where the truth leads, and the truth many times leads to places that people don't like or not going to want to hear. When I'm ministering, I'm not bringing stuff out of the thin air as if this is just something that I'm making up. Um, and the reason why I'm saying this is because when I reveal the truth about the lies that we were taught in history, the lies that white schools and white scholars taught, I get from white then many times white people will become dismissive and get angry and offended and try to say I'm being divisive, like I'm trying to divide or whatever, or I'm trying to stir up some type of racism or what. But that is the reaction, that's people's reaction to truth, because I'm saying something that they don't like, and the truth is not going to make you feel good. And so I feel that that's one of the main problems now. But the same way the truth, the statistical proof and truth of the black home, that statistically single parenting, mainly black female parenting, is a lot of the cause of the destruction of the children and the black home. Now that's statistical proof. That's not me saying it. That's not me making it up. I don't have an axe to grind with women. I'm a happily married man. I don't have any problem like that. But I go where the truth leads me. And if you want the truth, then now the reason why the Christian church is so powerless is because they have avoided the truth. They have switched the truth for entertainment and tickling your ears and giving you what you want to hear. The truth does not always feel good. It's not always going to make you feel fuzzy and warm and inside. The truth is going to cut. It's going to convict. And so the message that I just uploaded, I wanted to say something about that message because I feel that we are so lopsided, because all the messages that I've heard in the Christian church, especially the black church, were male bashing messages. I never heard a message that before I was a pastor. I had been in church maybe about 10 years, and I never heard a message that uplifted men. I never heard a message that, especially black men, I never heard a message that spoke to men. All the messages I heard were about women and youth and maybe children, and nobody uplifted the man. And when the pastor would say something good about the man, he had to go and say 10 things good about the woman, as if he had to keep it balanced, because it was almost as if the sisters couldn't hear something good about the men except they hear something good about the women. And so when I look at society and I look at the news, it's the men that are being killed. It's the women on TV talking about their son being killed, but it's the men that are actually dying. And so I feel that we have to stop the hypocrisy, or we have to stop avoiding the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that single parenting is the cause of the destruction of the black home. Single parenting. Now, I never gave men passes. If you go look at my ministry, go look at some of the early videos that I've done, you'll find that I've always been very, and even men in my ministry will tell you, he is very hard on men. I believe in men standing up and being men and being strong men. But you cannot continue to bash the man when the man has no power over the modern home. The men have not been in the modern home for the last 40 years. The democratic system of welfare that has paid our sisters to have babies and to fornicate and to have abortions, it took the parental rights away from the man. The man can't tell a woman to do anything. He can't tell her to have a baby. Once the man give his seed, that's the extent of his control. He can't control nothing but his seed. Once that seed is out of his body, he can't tell the woman nothing. So if she has an abortion, it's her decision. If she raises the child the way she raises the child the way she want to, it's her decision. He can't tell the woman who the child need to be around. It's her decision. Stop the hypocrisy. Stop acting as if these men have control in these homes. These men have no control over these homes. I know, because before I was married, I was a baby daddy. I was in the system. I was in the child support system. I know that immediately I had no control over my children. I couldn't tell this woman to do anything. She had all power and I had none. And when we would go to court, the courts would favor her. I couldn't say anything because I was looked at as a deadbeat dude, even though I didn't even have any criminal record, anything, because the system is designed for the destruction of black men. And until our black women get this, then you're going to continue to see this destruction. Now, part of the reason I did the message was, if you look on YouTube, there are, I don't know how many men on YouTube, black men, that are bashing women and that are just, you know, some of my, from Tommy Sotomayor to, I mean, there's so many of them. I can't even name them. It's just so many. And I started to say, let me, you know, I don't agree with brothers just bashing women and blaming it all. I don't agree with that. I mean, because I know we men have a part to play. But as I began to listen to what some of the brothers were saying, these brothers have valid points. And so you have to be honest that the men have not had power in the home. They have not had power over the women. We are the black man in America is the only man that has no power over his woman. Every other race has power. Every other race, the men have power over their women. But in the black man has literally no power over his woman. Even white men have power when it comes to their women, but black men have none. And so you cannot lay the destruction of these children and the murder rate and the thug and raising of thugs on these men because they don't have the power. That's what I'm trying to say. That's where the truth has led me. Statistically, our homes are 75% single. That means we have our homes, all of our children are being raised by single females. The men are not there, so you can't blame the man if he's not there. Now, we know there is a problem in this nation, but the problem is not deadbeat dads. The problem is fornication, having babies out of wedlock, having babies with men that were not ready to be fathers, having babies with women that were not ready to be mothers. For some reason, we don't get the fact that fornicating is the problem. So before you can get a deadbeat baby daddy, you have to be fornicating. So what I was trying to bring out in the message is the black church is not telling our sisters to stop fornicating. This is where the problem is. It's in fornication. There would be no welfare if there was no fornication. So the welfare system is designed to pay for the fornication. So don't get upset because I'm preaching a message that's not agreeing with you. Don't get upset. I'm still the pastor revealing the revelation and all of the truth that you comment so much about. But just because you get cut and it hits close to home, don't become my enemy because I tell you the truth. Because I'm not gonna be your female champion. I'm not gonna champion your. I'm not gonna be like these pastors who sit there and beat the men down and never say nothing to the women who they know are in control of this home or in control of the home. The men are not producing homosexuals. These are coming from female homes, from female dominated homes. So we got to be honest about this. We got to stop the hypocrisy, and we got to be honest that we have to deal with the other side. And so I'm going to continue to deal with that. And I may just do more messages and give you statistics so that you'll see that I'm not, you know this is true. We know this is the truth. But the liberal media has poisoned the mind of our women to put it all on the shoulders of the man. So we never see what the women are doing. And so my goal is to shed light. My goal is to let the brothers know you are good brothers. A lot of you are good men. And you need to go to your woman and honor that woman and marry that woman and raise your sons and your daughters. And that's the only way black lives will matter. That's the only way we're going to cut the murder rate. That's the only way we're going to stop producing thugs is when we stop following the culture, this single parenting culture, this diva culture, this I don't need no man culture. Until we stop that, then we're not going to stop the destruction of our children and the destruction of our sons. So Don't let me become your enemy because I tell you the truth. Everything I say in my messages, I can back up. I won't say it unless I can prove it. I can prove it. I can prove it all statistically, but the black community don't like statistics. We don't like statistics because it points to our own fault in areas. We want to blame. It's the police. It's the environment. It's the white man. It's everything but us. No, it's us. We're raising. It's the way we've parented. It's what we have allowed over the last 40 years. And until we stop the lies and be honest that our young black women look at the welfare system as a means of survival, not as a means of help, but as a means of lifelong survival. And until we be honest about that and train our daughters to stop fornicating and train our sons to value their seed and stop fornicating, then we're going to continue to get this. We're going to continue to see the destruction because marriage was God's way. And how can we sit in the house of God and have girlfriends and boyfriends